Patrick Saunders, go ahead and start us off.
Hi, Matt. Patrick Saunders from the Denver Post. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Can you just tell us in a nutshell just about your journey to get back up to the big leagues with the Rockies and what you've been doing to keep yourself ready for this moment?
Yeah, I signed a little bit over a month ago and went to the alt site, which was down here at the spring training complex at Salt River, and got with the great bunch of guys out there and just was able to do my routine and playing some games and get some live competition and face some pitching. So it's been great, and been waiting for this call a long time. So whenever I got it, it was great.
We really do, at least I don't know a whole lot about the games that have been going on down in Arizona. Can you give us a sense of, are they regular 9-inning games? Or are they set up to get extra bats for certain players or more pitches for certain pitchers, et cetera? Can you give us a sense of what that competition has been like?
Yeah, no, we've been playing the Diamondbacks. We played the Padres a few times, and we played the Dodgers once, and they're regular games, nine inning games. A few of them, depending on what the pitching situation is from the visiting teams or the other teams, kind of dictates that it's either 7 innings, 8 innings, or 9-inning games. But we're playing competition, and we're going out there and playing real games.
And how do you feel right now about where you are physically, but also baseball skill wise?
Feel great. I got about, I think, just under 45 ABs in those alternate site games. So my timing and everything feels great. Swing feels good. Body feels healthy and strong, and mentally I'm ready to go.
And one more for me, and I'll let the other folks in. Have you had a discussion with either folks from the front office or manager Bud Black about what they foresee as your role with the big league club?
Not so much my role, just knowing that I'm a Rocky now, and I told Bud and those guys that I'm willing to do whatever it takes for me to help the team out in whatever way that they need me to do that. So kind of an easy guy when it comes to that. Just the communication's big from that, and putting the jersey on and going out there and playing the game. So it doesn't matter if it's coming off the bench, being the left-handed guy coming off the bench, or starting in games, one or so games per series, because I know CJ's swinging the bat really well. So however my bats come, they come, but I want everybody to know that I'll be ready for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Go to Thomas Harding from Rockies.com.
Yes, Matt. First of all, did you think it took longer than you expected to sign a contract? Coming out of last year, which was already weird. Did it take longer to find a team than maybe you expected originally?
Yeah, it was a long, drawn out offseason, that's for sure. Not only for me, but for a lot of free agents. So I think it's I put that kind of behind me, and that's in the past. And looking up now, I got my work in. My body's ready to go. So I'm just thankful and happy that the time's come to where I'm able to join the Rockies and help them out, win some games.
You obviously hit with some power. In a nutshell, what have you been working on to get the consistency of getting on base and getting hits down?
Just staying within myself, not trying to do too much, knowing my approach and what that approach needs to be for me to feel good as soon as I step in the box. And then once I step in there, it's all about competing, seeing the ball, putting the barrel on the ball, and then going up there and just having a good competitive at bat.
What other teams did you look at? Were there very many other teams, and what made you decide that the Rockies were your best opportunity?
Yeah, there wasn't many other teams out there that showed interest. So when my agent called me and told me that the Rockies were willing to bring me in to see what I got, I was excited. I knew that I've always had a lot of respect for the organization, had a lot of friends play for the organization, and, you know, had nothing but great things to say. So when that opportunity presented itself, I was excited. I was excited to, you know, get to the alt site and get working and basically treat that as my spring training since I missed spring training. So it's been good, and just looking forward to helping the team out however I can.
What is it like also your first series back, I think is against the Diamondbacks, and you and Carson Kelly were good buddies, I understand, from the Cardinals organization. Will that be kind of cool to kind of have him welcome you back? Hopefully you can hurt his team, but still.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, you know, it was kind of cool. I had dinner. My wife and I had dinner with Carson and his wife about a little over a week ago. So it was nice to see him, but even better now to be able to put on two different jerseys and go out there and play the game that we both love playing. And it'll be nice to see him and, you know, just get back into the swing of things of, you know, playing games at the major league level and going out there and having fun.
We watched a lot over the years of you with the Cardinals and Joe Buck talking about Slippery Rock on the broadcast. If you can kind of explain just, you know, kind of what happened the last few years, bouncing around a little bit and not really getting your footing.
Yeah, you know, the last couple of years, I mean, other than last year, I started out with the Mets in spring training and that didn't work out. And then I, you know, signed on with Atlanta and was with them for 33 games. So a little over half of the season. But I just wasn't myself. I wasn't consistent. Like you mentioned before, I needed to get more consistent. And I went into the off season knowing that, you know, that was something that I worked on. But I felt like last year was just kind of an off year all around. And, you know, coming off of winning the World Series in 2019 with the Nationals, I think I kind of just took things for granted, and, you know, that kind of bit me in the butt, but I got to, you know, put that behind me and went in the off season and really dialed in what I needed to work on and had a very successful off season. And, you know, it showed once I got down here to Arizona at the alt site, you know, getting back out on the field, facing pitching and, you know, seeing the results that I was getting down here. It's, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like for so many people in this game, last year was just plain weird. So can you just kind of chalk up your last year to weirdness, and it's almost like a brand new start for you this year?
Yeah, that's the way I'm treating it. I just, you know, the world in itself was not right last year, and, you know, we were in uncharted waters, not knowing really what to expect, how things were going to go. And, you know, with fans not being in the stands, it wasn't baseball. It just didn't feel right. Felt like, you know, pickup games that, you know, you and your friends were playing, you know, in the backyard. It didn't feel right. But, you know, that's in the past, and, you know, this year's a new year, and, you know, I'm looking for a fresh start with the Rockies organization.
Yeah, last one for me. It seems like you have some comfort level when your swing is right in coming off of the bench. And with CJ here, obviously he's playing quite well. Could you kind of explain your approach when you come off the bench?
Yeah, you know, I was actually sharing, you know, this with some of the young guys at the outside. Was just, you know, they asked how I was able to have success at doing that. And it's all about, you know, getting your mind right, following the game along, you know, seeing when the pitcher spot's coming up, kind of playing along with the manager and, you know, and how he's going to do things, and knowing when to go down underneath and, you know, start getting your body ready, start mentally preparing who I may face coming in out of that bullpen. And, you know, I got a routine in the cage that I do that, you know, kind of gets my body right and my mind locked in to whenever I step into that box, my name's called, I'm ready to go from pitch one, ready to attack, and, you know, ready to have a good at bat.
Thank you, Carson. I'm sorry, Carson. Jeez. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. No problem.
We'll go to Nick Grove from The Athletic.
Yeah, Matt, if we could just like rewind here for a second real fast and maybe zoom in. Where were you in March? Were you in PA?
No, I was at home in St. Louis in
Okay.
March. I was there was a lot of minor league pitchers that were getting ready in and around my area that were throwing live able to get live ABs off of those guys. So it was nice to be able to have those guys there in St. Louis and kind of treat that as my, ramp up to, the outside camp.
What kind of field are you are you using there?
We were actually inside. We were there was an indoor facility that had a full infield, like a full length infield that we were just, we would take ABs off that. And then I would get out some of the college fields once the weather got nice and wasn't freezing. I was able to get outside and, do my ground balls and, do some outfield stuff out on the field.
Gotcha. You said that it was kind of a long off season. But I mean, did you must have had at least some sense that you were going to draw some interest eventually? I mean, is that how you were looking at it?
Yeah, I kept just telling myself that, if I don't sign at the beginning of spring training, something will present itself when the time's right. And, the day came where spring training started and I wasn't with anybody. So it was a real test to, myself to make sure that I stayed in the right frame of mind, making sure I was able to get my work in and just really knew that when the timing was right and, God was going to present what was right for my path. And he finally did.
And then, from my view, if you don't mind me saying, like you seemed like a pretty obvious choice for the Rockies for several years, to be honest. Were they kind of on your radar at all over time? I mean, did you ever get a sense that they were interested in you before too?
Yeah, there was some interest the last couple of years, but nothing really came about. They, I guess maybe the fit wasn't right or at the time, but like I said before, that's all that stuff's in the past, and I'm thankful that this year it kind of worked out to where I can, seems like a good bunch of guys in that clubhouse, and I'm excited to join them in there and put that jersey on, go out there and play some games with them, have some fun.
Awesome, Matt. Thank you. And welcome too, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, time for a couple more. We'll go to Tracy Ringlesby.
Yeah, Matt, most of my questions have been asked, but the one thing I guess I'm still curious about is when you're sitting around after last year where you go over and you're basically DH for Atlanta before you strain your hamstring.
Yep.
How much does that help you as far as having the mindset to pinch hit? Because I've heard Tom Baylor used to always say he felt like he was pinch hitting 4 times a game. So do you think that helps you? That becomes a primary responsibility?
Yeah, I think because you gotta come up with a routine that works since you're not locked into the game on both sides. You go up taking a bat and then you're sitting down for 2 innings waiting for that next at bat to come. So what I did last year was I would take my bat and then I would just I would stay in the dugout and follow the game along and just kind of act like I was out there playing defense, but mentally doing that just so it would help me stay engaged in the game. And I think, as a pinch hitter coming off the bench, I do the same thing. I'm out there engaged with the game, following along and seeing how our pitcher's doing, when that spot may come up. And then, really when the time comes, being able to lock it in and going up there and giving the team a good at bat.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
I'll go to Noah and then circle back to Thomas for final questions. Noah, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, Noah Yingling with Rockspile. Wanted to ask you a few questions about familiarity with the Rockies. Like, for example, if I'm not mistaken, you overlapped with Austin Gomber a little bit in 2018 in St. Louis. Can you talk about your relationship with him and or any of the other Rockies players or coaches that you may have crossed paths with in the past?
Yeah, Gomber's a great dude. He, he's really coming into the role of a starting pitcher, and you can see him growing. I don't know him that well, but like you said, I was teammates with him for, in spring training for a few years. And then in 18, that last month after I got traded back over there from Washington, he's a pro. He goes about his business the right way. And you really can tell that he wants that ball every 5th day and wants to go out there and, compete on that mound. I played against, Trevor and Charlie and, you know, CJ a lot the past few years, just seeing those guys from afar and how they go about their business. And, you know, whenever I got the call that I was joining these guys, it really, you know, excited me that I was being able to be in the clubhouses with those guys and really dive in to see how they go about their things and really learn from those guys. I love picking up on, you know, different guys' routines and, you know, just seeing how they go about things and, you know, how they become a true professional. And that's what I'm excited. I think in this clubhouse, there's a lot of those guys. This is, I think, from the most part, it's a younger team. So I think these guys are going to be excited to, it's going to be an exciting team to be around.
And with the younger guys, since you went to the World Series with St. Louis in 2013 and then won it with the Nationals in 2019, is there anything from getting to there that you think that you can help teach the younger players about winning and getting to that level?
Yeah, I think it's, you gotta just, you know, treat it day by day, not get too far ahead in the future, not dwell on the past too much, but really stay in the moment, stay locked into, you know, what your role is, what you're trying to accomplish. And the big thing is just coming together as a family. You know, the baseball season is a long season and we're around these guys for longer than we're probably around our families. So the big takeaway is the winning teams that I've been on is it's all about, you know, becoming a family, becoming close and going out to battle side by side with your brothers and wanting to go out there and expecting to win. So that's my advice to the younger guys.
And lastly, obviously you didn't play it in 2019 or 2020, but have you been working at all in the outfield? Because I know you played a few games in the outfield 2018 and prior.
Yeah, I you know, once I got to the outside, I talked with, you know, Schaefer, the manager, and explained to him the situation, and just I wanted to do everything that I possibly could to be ready for whatever this year presents. And I was able to do some drills with the outfitters there and in practice, and I even got in, I think, 3 or 4 games in left field at the outside. So it's been good. It's you know, it's nice to get back out there and, you know, get my feet wet again in left field and you know, just playing the game. That's basically, you know, I've said it a lot so far, but just excited to put the jersey back on and go out there and play the game that I love to play.